Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, ProCharge EV, prochargeev.com. Okay, hope your morning is off to an awesome start. How about it? Dylan Cruz, Paul Skenes honored Cruz the SEC Player of the Year. Second consecutive year for that honor for Dylan Cruz. That's only happened once before, by the way. Matt Laporta of Florida, you might remember that name. He was SEC Player of the Year twice, in 2005 and then again in 2007. Cruz is the only player ever to win it in consecutive seasons. So, pretty incredible. Paul Skenes, SEC Pitcher of the Year. He becomes the first LSU pitcher to win SEC Pitcher of the Year since Aaron Nola won it in 13 and 14 during consecutive years. So, great honor. Voted on by the league's 14 coaches. So, and it's just only the third time ever that the same team has produced SEC Player of the Year and Pitcher of the Year in the same season. Georgia did it back in 2008, and then Florida did it in 2018. So, great honor for those guys. Tommy White was first team All SEC at third base. Cruz, of course, and Skenes were first team All SEC. Bear Jones was freshman All SEC, and Cruz was defensive All SEC. So, more honors to come for those guys, no doubt. Just the beginning of the rubber chicken circuit, and they better clear some room on their mantle and their shelves, because those dudes are going to collect some hardware. We know one of them is going to win the Golden Spikes, either Cruz or Skenes. Be interesting to see who. I tend to lean position players because they play every day, but it's hard to argue the impact that Paul Skenes has had. He's just incredible. So, congrats to those guys for their honors. And then we also found out yesterday Maason Smith fully cleared. Probably not a great surprise. We're all expecting him to be cleared and ready to play. But I think the real important part of that is the timing. So, we're here at the end of May. They begin, whenever the football team shows up in June for off-season workouts. They're going through summer school and then workouts in June. So that means Maason Smith is a full go, like no limitations whatsoever. So he'll be full go in off-season workouts, full go in fall camp. So there isn't any ramp-up period. He's ready to go. So that's great news from a guy that you're going to need, obviously, to have a massive season on the interior. So, okay, let's say some good morning, see what y'all got here. Kelly Gross, Mark Vitanovich, good morning. Yeah, man, the Nuggets sweep the Lakers last night. Craig Tuka, 0 for 4, yes. Nuggets sweep the Lakers, happy to see it. And Anthony Davis and LeBron's summer camp title down in the bubble continues to be a joke. But if they want to hang a banner and wear the rings, whatever. The rest of the world is laughing at that being their only title. Bart St. Germain, Bubba Smith, hey Dad, good morning. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Where are we? Trey Potan and Darren Reeves. Is Jokic the best passing big man ever? Mark, maybe. I don't like to get into those conversations because, I didn't see Wilt Chamberlain play. I didn't see Bill Russell play. There's great, big men throughout the history of the game that could entrench themselves. Now, I think for Jokic, the most important thing is start having conversations about best this or greatest that ever, you got to win titles. And getting to the finals for the first time is pretty incredible. You know who's like crying in their cocktail is Adam Silver, because I mean, you had a shot at a Lakers Celtics final, the two most storied franchises in the history of the NBA, two of the great brands in all of sports, not just basketball or North American sports, in all of sports in the world. Uh, East Coast, West Coast, superstar power, LeBron, AD, uh, Tatum. I mean, to Brown, to have been on the doorstep of a Lakers Celtics final, and you're going to end up with Nuggets Heat. No disrespect. I mean, those teams are great. I mean, the Heat as an 8 seed is just, it's incredible watching what they're doing. But yeah, Adam Silver has got to be just teary-eyed today. Let's see, Tim Gotro, Larry Garner, Nick Newbill, Spurge, Weston Weaver, Trivia Carter, Wendell Norman. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Thomas Lamont, awesome recognition for the guys, well-deserved. I would think Skenes would be the favorite for National Pitcher of the Year as well. Thomas Lamont, he's not the favorite for National Pitcher of the Year. He is a stone-cold lead pipe lock, like literally not even a conversation. There is no discussion to be had. He will be a runaway winner, if not a unanimous winner of National Pitcher of the Year. There is literally not even another player that will be in the conversation. So yes, he's going to win National Pitcher of the Year. Jesse Brown, like the only intrigue is Golden Spikes, because it's going to be Cruz or Skenes, and we have seen great pitchers win that award. Ben McDonald is LSU's only winner of the award. So it's going to be Dylan Cruz or Paul Skenes that's going to win Golden Spikes. It's just a matter of which one. Do the voters favor the pitcher or the position player? Both are magnificent. We'll see. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt, with the new NFL rule for third quarterback as emergency. Will this allow a team like the Saints to keep Hayner on the roster without being snagged? Probably. And, Jesse, I'm not so sure that even if Jake Hayner were cut, that the Saints wouldn't be able to stash him on the practice squad. I remember when they signed, when they drafted Garrett Grayson a few years back. They had to keep him active, I think, for the first year. But not mistaken, I think that second year he was on the practice squad. So for those that don't know, so the NFL owners approved a rule that would allow a team to designate an emergency third quarterback on a game day. So I think this all stems from what happened with the Niners in the NFC Championship game. They basically ran out of quarterbacks. So, but here's the thing: it applies only to quarterbacks who are on the 53. So you can't be on the practice squad. So it complicates things a little bit, Jesse, because they'd have to keep. So typically, for those that don't know, like if you're on the 53-man roster, hang on one second. There we go. So you have your 53-man roster, and then you have your practice squad, which I believe is a 10-player practice squad. On game day of your 53, you're only allowed to activate 46. So that means 7 players that are on your 53-man roster are healthy scratches. You probably heard that term before. What this rule is suggesting, though, is that you can dress a third quarterback that's just an emergency quarterback on game day, and it wouldn't count against your 46. So I guess in theory you'd have 47 dressed on game day. So And the reason that may sound sort of inconsequential, but the thing about the NFL is on a game day, because you only have 46 players dressed, everyone plays. Like everyone plays in the game. If you're a backup lineman, you're playing on special teams, right? If you're a backup, like a lot of times your second team safety is, makes the team on special teams. And then if someone gets hurt at safety, they go in the game and play safety, right? So that's why it's significant, because normally you wouldn't activate a third quarterback because you can't justify having a player dressed that isn't going to play. Jason H., good morning. Dalton Barnett, good morning. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Went to Godson's graduation for Brother Martin. Hard to believe I graduated there all the way back in 92. Scary how time flies. Okay, Matt. Probably talked about that before. My dad's a Brother Martin grad. He was the second class, so I believe that was 71. Dad's watching. He'll post it if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 71. So 2 years at Aloysius, 2 years at Brother Martin. And had we stayed in New Orleans, I probably would have been, I'm sure I would have been a Brother Martin grad. So 92, man, so 31 years. Yep, 71. There you go, Dad. Nailed it. Rerule Tiger Diver, good morning. Let's see, no way LeBron's ego allows him to retire without a final season farewell tour like Kobe did. Maybe so, Reed. That'd be interesting to see, right? A little torn on the farewell tour. I don't mind it if guys want it. I know a local example who didn't was Paul Maneri. Paul didn't want by the way, Paul Maneri on AFR today. I'm looking forward to talking to Coach. He'll be on at 5, so we'll talk SEC tournament. I want to talk about a lot of stuff. I want to talk about strategy in the SEC tournament, managing your pitching in the SEC tournament. I want to talk to him about Dylan Cruz. Remember, Paul signed Dylan Cruz, so had him for just a year, before he retired, and then Jay's had him 2 years. But I want to talk to him about Dylan Cruz and the career he's had, kind of compare him to Bregman. I want to talk about Skenes this year, what it's like having a pitcher like that, when he had Nola. Cruz chasing Rafe Rhymes' record, so I'm excited to have Coach on today. So Paul Maneri today. We're going to do 2 segments, so 5 to 5:30 with Paul Maneri. Let's see. Antron Hemingway, good morning. Heard Maason Smith's cleared to return. That's awesome. Can't wait to see him on the field. Go Tigers. Have a blessed day. You too, Antron. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, yesterday on AFR, we played a clip from Brian Kelly from last year's fall camp. And, no, I'm sorry, it was from spring. And he was talking about Maason Smith. And it was interesting how he was talking about the interior pass rush. And his point was, hey, look, we generated a pass rush last year from the edge with Harold Perkins, with B.J. Ojolari, but we had no interior pass rush. And he's right. I mean, I looked it up yesterday. I think Mekhi Wingo maybe had like 2 sacks, and Jaquelin Roy had like half a sack, something like that. So you really didn't generate a pass rush from the interior. Maason Smith changes that. So, if teams choose to fan away from Maason Smith and you leave him one-on-one on the interior, he's going to create a lot of problems. Similarly, if you choose to collapse on Maason Smith, to double team him, now you're fanning away from one of your edge guys and leave them one-on-one. So it creates a numbers problem for offenses trying to block them. So yeah, man, I'm excited about having him back for sure. Let's see. Ray Langlois, good morning, Matt. Let's see, correct. First class Brother Martin was 69. Well, it would have had to have been the class of 70. Like the 69, 70 school year, because my dad was the second class and he was class of 71. So the 69, 70 school year was the first year, then the 70, 71 was the second year, and that's when Dad graduated. We're probably saying the same thing, but yeah. Tiger Diver LeBron is going to play 2 more years so he can play 1 year with his son. I know that's what he's always said, right? He wants to play with Bronny. There's two important assumptions there, the Tiger Diver. Number one is the assumption that Bronny is going to make the NBA after 1 year in college. I don't, I guess a team could certainly just uh, draft Bronny or sign him to, like, there's no guarantee, right, that LeBron and Bronny play together. If LeBron's with the Lakers and Bronny gets drafted by someone else, LeBron leave the Lakers to go by whatever, I don't know. But so that's two important assumptions. One is that Bronny's going to be good enough to play in the NBA in 2 years, and two, that they end up on the same team. I mean, I guess if you're an NBA franchise, you could always just make sure you end up with Bronny, in theory, so that way LeBron would follow no matter what, and you would sell a lot of tickets. It'd be a giant revenue generator for your franchise, not just for ticket sales, but just attention, the whole attention graph that it would bring, short term and in perpetuity, because you'd always be the franchise that had a father son duo on the same team. So yeah, that would always be interesting. But then again, those are two pretty wild assumptions. Hey, as always, brought to you by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. brortho.com, brortho.com. Eating orthopedics, go to Brock Rock and Wine, Saturday, July 29th. Mark it down, plan to be there. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. You know what? Give you a little bit of the shuffle if y'all don't mind. A little shuffle this morning.
Hudco Roofing, Hudco Roofing. When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Hudco Roofing, Hudco Roofing. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Was my shirt torn? Oh, it's torn. My biceps are too big. See that? My bicep ripped my shirt. Look at that. That's what happens when you're swole working out of traction, doing curls every day. Anyway, or this is just now a 4-year-old shirt that I wear a lot. Anyway, okay. ProCharge EV and Restored Motions went and saw Crystal Post Show yesterday. We're heading to the beach on Friday, and y'all, it never fails. When I sit in the car for a long time and then sleep in a hotel bed or somebody else's bed, I always end up kind of getting out of alignment, and so I needed to go see Crystal before we left. So I went yesterday, saw Crystal Post Show. I'm telling you, if you have pain, go see Crystal Post Show. She will work you out of it. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Okay, a couple more here. Mark asking if we'll go to Omaha Fellowship makes College World Series. Probably not, Mark, unfortunately. We're planning to go. Budget's made it a little difficult. Hannah Griffin Ott were already planning to go, and so they'll probably just anchor our coverage from there. Brant, let's see, do you agree with these other sports analysts that are saying LSU is only one solid pitcher and all offense, won't get very far in the postseason? So I think obviously Ty Floyd's development has been huge, and he's been really, really good over the past 6 weeks. So I'll grab it. Here's your backpack. So I think you've got two really good starters, and I think you've got a lot of bullpen arms that have been good for you at times this year. Hurd has been good. Ackenhausen has been good. Herring has been good. Guidry has been good. Cooper has a rubber arm and can pitch every day. So I think Blake Money can probably get you outs. So I think they have enough arms that have been good at times, Brant. What I don't think we've seen is consistency from those guys, so you never really know what guy is going to show up on a given day, and that's the tricky part for Jay, is who to go to when, because you don't know who you can really count on. What I will tell you is I think it will be next to impossible for LSU to come out of a loser's bracket. I do think they can win the College World Series from the winner's bracket. I've already gone over a bajillion times the scenario in a regional which they should win and win with ease, quite honestly. Because you can throw whoever game one against a 4 seed. You can come back with Skenes in the marble game. And then somebody's got to come back and beat you twice, and you've got Ty Floyd sitting there. And someone will have to win their 4th and 5th games against you, which no one's going to have enough pitching to do that against this LSU offense. Okay, so at the box. So LSU wins a regional, they go to a super regional. You win game 1 with Skenes, and then can you split the next 2 at home? I mean, I think so. I mean, they've done that basically every weekend this year, except the 2, the Mississippi State and Auburn. And State was as uncanny a series loss as you'll ever see, where they had a 13-4 lead after 5 innings on Sunday and blew it. So, and game 2 they led by 2 in the 8th. So, yeah, I mean, I think they could win a super as well. And then when you get to Omaha, like, you've just got to play your way through the winner's bracket. If you win the first game with Skenes and the second game with Floyd, then you rest, and someone's got to come back and beat you twice. And if you manage to do what we just talked about, then you go into a championship series with, probably Skenes and Floyd ready for games 2 and 3. So, yeah, I mean, can they? Sure they can, but they got to do it through a winner's bracket. The tough part is if you lose and then have to come through the loser's bracket, I don't think they have enough pitching to overcome that, no. Michael Cook, Jamie Leday, Earl, Cruz better wake up. I mean, Cruz had multiple hits in every game last week. But I understand the point. Is Taysom our 3 or is it Jay Canner? Taysom's not a quarterback anymore, Mark. You got to flush that, brother. He's a gadget player, but he's not a quarterback anymore. Barry Day, what's up? Let's see, Mark, take on Jay Canner, Panini photo shoot going viral. God bless him. I don't really have a take on it. Is Dugas okay after the injury? I mean, no, he can't throw. I mean, watch him throw. The ball never comes above his shoulder. Everything is here. Everything is elbow. It's all elbow here. It's 3/4 elbow. So, no, I mean, and he's not going to be. But he can swing the bat. And that's what you need him to do. Quentin Breakbill, good morning. Let's see. Will LSU and Florida State be top 10 in football? Yeah. Been saying that for months. A lot of y'all were laughing at me when I said that. Months ago. Like after the end of last year. But ain't nobody laughing now. A lot of people are going to conveniently forget that. Whatever. Barry Day, Smith and Perkins will wreak havoc on offensive coaches, dynamic duo. I agree. Barry, I agree. The thing, though, and the only reason I'm hesitating is because, remember, Perkins is moving inside this year. And they've said there's some third down scenarios where he'll move back outside of that jack spot. But what you really need is someone like Ovie Agofu, Braden Swinson, Savion Jones. You're going to need one of those edge guys to step up and have a big year. You're going to need one of them to produce the way B.J. Ojulari did. Maybe it's Deshaun Womack, the five-star freshman. But you're going to need somebody to step up in that role. Let's see. Settle down, Hulk Hogan. That's a reference to me tearing my shirt, obviously. If Erica saw that I was wearing a shirt with a torn sleeve, she'd be like, that is ridiculous. Throw that away. Like, I'm not throwing the shirt away. Matt, what do you drink in the morning to keep energy so high? Is it coffee, energy drinks, vitamin supplement drink? I do have 1 cup of coffee every day, and I usually don't even finish it. The thing that I do before every show is I take a 5-hour energy. And I've done that for years. Now, there was a time where we had an energy drink sponsor, so I stopped drinking 5-hour energy, and I would drink a Reign energy drink. And that was fine, but the reason I like the 5-hour energy is it's quick. It's just a shot. You just take it and done. So yeah, like every day of my life, at like 2:45, 2:50, I take a 5-hour energy. Barry, let's see, injuries to a few good pitchers got us down, but not out. The staff has potential if we keep scoring. Brant, who do you not want to see LSU have to face in the postseason? I don't know, man. I mean, everyone's going to say Wake Forest because they've been the most complete team all year. I look at teams with multiple top-line starters like Florida, if they figure it out. Tennessee, if they figure it out. Arkansas, it's a great coaching job by Dave Van Horn, man, considering all the injuries and the fact that they've rolled the way they have. But I should say Arkansas, but I don't. I think LSU can handle Arkansas. Yeah, those teams. Vandy, if they're healthy. So, 8:05. All right, y'all. I'm going to get bounced here. I'm going to bounce and get going here. Let's see a couple more here on YouTube. Smash that like button, by the way, if you would. Read rule: will South Carolina try to claim Lightning in the area tomorrow to duck Skenes? Alex DeVilliers, who do you think we start tomorrow? I think they'll start either Blake Money or Thatcher Hurd. Probably Blake Money. I think they treat it like a midweek game. Go Blake Money, just like they did last week. Do we get Jared Jones back in the lineup this week? I don't know, Brett. Where's your trade-off there? I think there's got to be a commitment to get Travinsky in the lineup, and if he's only going to catch for Floyd, then you have to have him DH or play first. And so you have some combination. If Joe Bear's in right, then you have a combination of Beloso, Jones, and Travinsky for 2 spots. And it might depend on matchup, lefty-righty matchup. Jones and Travinsky are both righties, and Beloso's a lefty. And so, do you want 2 righties in the lineup? Do you want a lefty and a righty in the lineup? Are you facing a fastball pitcher, a guy with a really good breaking ball? I mean, the problem with Jones is that he's really struggled to hit the off-speed stuff. So, I'm sure they'd love to get him back in the lineup, Brett, but it's a good problem to have, right? You're trying to figure out which guy with double-digit homers do you want in the lineup, Austin Kidder, good morning. The real secret to morning energy is having kids who wake you up early every day. I don't know if that means you have morning energy, man. That's just being up. But you're right. You're right. Jason H, is this your vacation week, Matt? No, we leave Friday, so I'm working through Thursday. Friday morning we're gone. So we leave Friday, and then I'm out all next week. We'll be back in Baton Rouge middle of next week, but I'm off air Friday to Friday, so I'll miss 6 shows. Moose will fill in. Okay, y'all, we're done. I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button. LSU Daily is live. For those who've been getting on me, calling it LSU almost daily or sometimes daily. All right. Excuse me. One more shot to Brock. Hudco. Need North Piece, go to Brock. Need a roof, call Hudco. ProCharge EV and Restored Motions. Learn more about EV chargers, prochargeev.com. And if you got pain, book a session with Crystal Poche, restoredmotions.com. Okay. Have an awesome day, y'all. We'll see you. Peace.